The cabinet has approved a revised labor law allowing workers to use paid annual leave in hourly increments with non-compliant employers facing penalties.
정부는 연차 유급 휴가를 시간 단위로 나눠서 사용할 수 있도록 하고 이를 지키지 않는 고용주에 불이익을 주는 내용의 근로기준법 개정안을 국무회의에서 심의 의결했습니다. Tell us more.
Yeah, so this is basically saying you can take your leave or the amount of work that you've massed up in hourly increments. Currently, workers must stay for a mandatory 30-minute break after 4 hours of work, even if their shift is finished. But now, employees working a 4-hour shift can now leave immediately upon completion without being forced to take a mandatory break, provided that they request it.
So as I understand it, that's actually a separate one from the one in the headline, because in the headline it does talk about the annual leave, and currently to take an annual leave you have to take it the minimum, the minimum, what's the word for it?
Increment?
I guess, is a day.
Yeah.
The minimum, I guess, not increment, but 단위. I can't think of the word all of a sudden. Anyway, so currently, to take an annual leave, 연차, it has to be per day. So 1 day, 2 days, unit. Thank you, 작가님. The basic unit right now is on a daily basis, day by day. However, we're guessing maybe next year or so, we don't know the exact time, but this law, as we said just now, has been approved. So people will be able to take hourly yearly leaves off. So for example, if you need to go to the pharmacy, for example, or you just need to go for a quick doctor's visit.
Dentist appointment.
A few hours.
Yeah.
You don't have to take the whole day off because that's all money, right?
Yeah.
So you can take just a few hours off and then save the rest of the hours for another day. And then separately, there's that issue of working 4 hours. Currently, every 4 hours, you have to take a 30-minute break. But in the future, once again, thanks to this newly approved law, you can just go home after 4 hours. And this is for people who only work sort of part-time.
Part-time, yeah.
4 hours, yeah. You don't need to take that mandatory 30-minute break, which means you're there for 4 hours and 30 minutes. Very interesting. Tell us about the expression paid annual leave.
Paid annual leave, meaning that when you're an employee of a company, you're expected to receive a certain amount of time off. Sometimes we call it vacation time. Sometimes we'll call it holiday time. Sometimes we'll call it paid leave, meaning that this is time that you're still paid for even though you're not working.
Paid는 유급, leave는 휴가. 근데 어떤 휴가요? Annual leave. 연차인데 유급 연차가 되겠죠. 유급 휴가인 그런 연차. 그래서 앞으로는 Do you want to say something?
Oh, no. I was just going to say, sometimes, like in this particular case, we're talking about paid annual leave, like you mentioned, as it's a yearly thing. That's part of your contract. But if you were just taking paid leave without the annual in there, then you can request time off, and you're still getting paid for that period of time to a certain degree. We talk about maternity paid leave quite often as well. So if you've given birth, then these days, more so than in the past, you can receive a certain amount of payment even though you're not working at your company anymore.
Exactly. 유급 휴가는 다 paid leave인 거죠. 근데 지금 같은 경우는 연차 유급 휴가를 얘기하니까 paid annual leave. 그래서 sorry.
No, sorry. I was going to say, it's sometimes the one difference that sometimes you'll also hear is a leave of absence. And in a leave of absence, you're given permission to not have to go into work, but for a leave of absence, typically you are not paid.
Yeah, in school as well.
Yes.
If you're not able to go to school, you should tell the teacher why. You can't just not go. And in that case, you would say you got a leave of absence?
Yes.
그래요. 이제 학교를 뭐 어떤 이유에서든 결석하게 될 때도 그 표현을 쓸 수 있고 회사에서도 결근을 할 때 leave of absence라는 표현을 쓸 수 있는데요. 자, 연차 유급 휴가를 이제 앞으로는 시간 단위로 쪼개서 쓸 수 있게 된다라는 그런 내용의 개정안이 이번에 심의 의결됐다라는 뜻이 되겠습니다. And officers that are non-compliant, bosses that are non-compliant, they could be penalized?
Yeah, someone who is non-compliant is someone who is not obeying the law or obeying a particular rule that has now been put in place. So if you are compliant, then it means that you are doing as told or doing as you're supposed to do. And we'll often hear the word also just comply.
Yeah.
This is something that you're supposed to do, that you're expected to do. Do you comply? Right? Like you might hear a law enforcement officer say that, or in movies will say, come out with your hands up. Do you comply? Like, are you accepting what we're asking you to do?
comply라는 것은 어떤 규칙 같은 걸 지킨다는 뜻이 있어서요. non-compliant라는 것은 지키지 않는, 위반하는 이라는 뜻이 되겠습니다. 그래서 이런 연차 사용, 시간별로 나눠서 쪼개서 하는 그것을 받아들이지 않는 고용주라든지, 뭐 불이익을 주는 고용주라든지 이런 경우가 있으면은 또 역시 뭐 어떤 방식으로든 뭐 처벌을 받는다든지 처벌의 내용은 들어있진 않습니다만 고용주에게 불이익이 갈 수 있다. 또 이렇게 표현이 되고 있습니다. Alright. Well, they say it normally takes about 6 months to a year or so after such a revision has been approved at the cabinet, by the cabinet, to actually come into effect. So we'll have to wait maybe until next year.
Yeah, it's going to take some time.
It is. 자, 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. The cabinet has approved a revised labor law allowing workers to use paid annual leave in hourly increments, with non-compliant employers facing penalties. Let's move on.